Hi everyone, welcome to World of Tanks with Stewie. I'm stewiejp and this is the Object 140. This is a Clan Wars battle. This is probably going to be a long video. I think it goes for over 20 minutes because I've got two battles to show you in the Object 140. Two battles in a row where I do well. That is unheard of. So I'm going to give you a bit of a demo of what the Object 140 can do. It's one of my favourite tanks, both in normal battles and in Clan Wars. I don't often play it in Clan Wars. I generally play a heavy tank, but this night we had plenty of people on in heavy tanks, and I think this might have been one of my first, if not the first game I ever played in the Object 140 for a Clan Wars game. I played a few normal games to get used to it beforehand, but this is a tank that I put my female crew members in from the missions because I was still grinding out my T62A. So I've come up to this hill to try and do a bit of spotting early on, but I'm not the only one who's doing a bit of spotting, and I'm the one who's been spotted. So I don't know if it was me or the other guy, but we spotted a few of their heavies going towards the centre of the base, and I want to get out of there quick and smart. It probably wasn't the best idea to go down that hill, but as we all know, and as we just heard, the artillery, whether it's in a Clan Wars game or whether it's in a normal battle, the artillery will more often than not, shoot the first tank that's spotted. So I wanted to get out there quick, smart. Batchat's still up on the hill, and the T62A is there to maybe try and spot from a different angle. So I think it's time for me to get out of there, and I'm going to go up and join the IS-7s and the other medium tanks in the northwest flank. You can see on the mini-map we've got quite a bit of a heavy presence on the southeast flank with the E100s and the T11OE4 backed up by artillery. With my old mate Ryan and his trusty old Conqueror gun carrier, whatever it is. In any case, it's as it can be. Clan Wars is often a bit of a slow start. We come around here to try and do a little bit of spotting, and we spot that 140. I'm surprised I've done a bit of damage from that distance, but it's always good to get a shot off early. I know I haven't been spotted because my sixth sense hasn't gone off, but with all these tanks here, some of them obviously have been spotted because artillery just fired off another round. At this stage we've only spotted 3 of their tanks, 2 T11OE5 American Tier 10s in the centre of the map, and that 140 that I took a shot at. So we're just going to sit here for a little bit and try and spot them, try and work out where they are, while the heavy contingent on the east side of the map make their way up the old ice road, which is where you would imagine artillery is aiming. As you can see from this angle, there's quite a group of us where I'm sitting, and Husbox, who is one of the world champions in a medium tank, both in normal battles and in Clan Wars, is in his Object 430. He's trying to spot from a little bit further up, but he's hugging that hill because he knows artillery is looking this way. We know that because they've already fired a couple of shots. Now, Husbox normally drives the Object 140, and he normally drives it very, very well, but I think the Object 430, there it is there, was a reward for the campaign mission. I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will let me know if I am, but he was quite active in that campaign last year. Now Husbox is moving up a little bit further to try and do a little bit more spotting. Some concerns were mentioned on the TeamSpeak saying, what are you doing so far ahead? But he assured us that he's quite safe where he was from artillery or from other tanks. Obviously his sixth sense hasn't gone off, and he's doing his best to try and light a few of the other tanks up. Now it has been a few weeks since my last video. I have been a little bit unwell, and I was toying with the idea of doing some World of Warships videos, which I have done a few, but they haven't received much of a response, and even though I seem to be doing quite well, my win rate in World of Warships is quite high compared to my win rate in World of Tanks, but I'm continuing to do World of Warships just as something to do if I need a break from tanks. You know, we've all had days where we lose game after game after game, but the last few weeks I've actually been doing quite well, and believe it or not, my stats are slowly improving. And so I think World of Warships will still be just an every now and then thing for me. Maybe, you know, do it on patch day or on a day where I just don't feel like doing World of Tanks. Anyway, we've just heard artillery shoot off again, and we're up here and we're spotting heaps and heaps of tanks. This is where you can see some of the positive attributes of the Object 140. I can climb up to this hill using a bit of cover. I mean, it does have a very strong turret. You'll bounce a lot of shots off the turret of this tank, and the view range is pretty good. So, using these ridge lines, I'm taking advantage of my gun depression to put a bit of pain into those enemy tanks that have been spotted. There's quite a few there. They can see me, but it doesn't look like many of them are aiming at me. That last shot, I didn't even come close. I reversed into my old mate. I think it might have been AVA killer, but we are winning, but we're only winning by one tank, so I need to be up here spotting these tanks, lighting them up. And with the fast rate of fire of this tank, I really need to be putting some damage into these tanks. That American tank destroyer has a ton of armour, T11 OE4. Yet I'm firing gold and trying to put a bit of damage into him. T57 heavy proves to be a much better target. I've actually switched back to normal ammunition at this stage, and in between these heavies moving backwards and forwards, I'm able to get some damage into that T11 OE4 and also some of the other tanks that are lighting up. We're now winning 2-0, which is better than being down 2-0, but we definitely haven't won the game yet. You can see on my damage counter I've done 2252 damage so far. Haven't got any kills yet. Ryan's got the only 2 kills in his Conqueror, but we're about to start moving forward and inflicting a little bit of pain. As you can see on my damage counter, I've done 2200 damage so far, and I'm still trying to just light these tanks up. I'm still on full health, so I don't need to conserve my health too much, but I just want to light these people up for the artillery and also inflict some damage of my own. Looking at the map, they're all retreating. We're winning 3-1. They're retreating back to their base to try and defend their artillery and their flag. Now we're winning 4-1. I come out here into the open and I've got shots on all of these tanks. There's millions of them. Now I want to use my rate of fire to inflict some damage. I've taken one shot from one of them. I don't know which one it was, but 350 damage, probably a medium tank. And artillery's already fired at me. Well, we're now winning 5-1, and a lot of their tanks are on low health. So now it's 6-1. So the caller has made the call: don't die. Whatever you do, don't die. Don't lose your tanks, because as I'm not sure if you know or not, in Clan Wars, when you lose a tank, the tank can be locked for up to a week, depending on the tank, whether it's a heavy or a tank destroyer or a medium. Now I'm on about half health, or a little bit under half health, so I do need to be a little bit careful here. Good bounce from a heat shell. We're winning 7-2, but look at the map, we have got them surrounded. Artillery narrowly missed me there. Now it's the time to get a couple of kills, take more of their tanks out, and to try and get a little bit more damage. On nearly 2700 damage as we speak. But now they're in a world of pain. If you look at where they all are, they can't really do anything from where they are. This position I've moved into now isn't a very good position from my point of view. I haven't got shots on them, but plenty of people do. These IS-7s just need to be careful they don't get killed, that guy in front of me. But Now it's just one medium and a artillery left to go. So I come around here, and do I finish the artillery? No, I think somebody else does. But comfortable win, 15-4. Looking at the post-game results, 3,000 experience for my double. You can see I've damaged and killed a few tanks there. Top scoring experience, 3,200 damage and 2 kills. Plenty of other people had over 3,000 damage as well. Charlie Blaze with 3,000. Ryan in his artillery with nearly 4,000 damage. Everyone contributing to a good win there. And you can see this is why I got top experience, and that's because I did nearly 1,700 spotting damage from being up the front. After Usbox died, I went up to the front and did a bit of spotting, and you can see, even though with a premium account, even though I fired all that premium ammunition, I still made a profit of over 9,000 credits. Now in a normal game I wouldn't have used so much premium ammunition. There's a lot of people saying on the forums and on the website, on the forums, about if you play a tier 10 tank, it very, very rarely makes you money. Well, but I did have a pretty good game. I'm pretty happy with 3,000 damage, but 3,000 damage isn't out of the question in a tier 10 game, in a medium tank. Had I been firing normal rounds, maybe I would have done 2,500 damage, because a few of the shots probably would have bounced, maybe closer to 2, but I would have still made a comfortable amount of credits. So as we start the second of our Clan Wars battles, this game was directly after the game that we just won. We weren't sure if the team that we're playing now were talking to CLASY. We're not sure if they are allies. From memory, I think they were. But the decision was still made. We'll do the same thing. I think it's a pretty good strategy either way, whether they attack or camp like CLASY did. So just like last time, I move up to that corner where I was last game with the IS-7s. This time I think we've got an IS-4 as well. And Husbox again, I think, is in his object 430, and he's doing exactly what he did last game. He's going right up and hugging that mountain to try and get a bit of spotting early on. We've only spotted 2 of their mediums so far. One in the same place as where we were fighting last game, and one in the centre of the map. The one in the centre of the map obviously trying to do a bit of early spotting for their team. I'm quite confident where I am now that artillery won't get me. I haven't been spotted. My sixth sense hasn't gone off. But again, we're getting into formation. The mediums are moving. The heavies are moving to where they wanted to go. We've got another heavy contingent on the southeast side of the map, consisting of 3 E100s and the American T11 OE5. All the ISs, myself and Husbox in his 430, are taking the northwest flank, which I think this isn't a bad strat. The 2 T62As are sitting on that hill, trying to spot from that hill that I started at last game, and from that position they can react to either side. If we start getting rushed either side, 2 T62As turning up, they'll probably get there in about 20 seconds. On full health, with their good guns and their good rates of fire, they'll be able to support whatever flank needs that support. You can see Husbox again going forward quite aggressively, but again he's reassuring us on the TeamSpeak that he hasn't been spotted, and he's hugging the hills and he's hugging the mounds so that artillery shouldn't be able to hit him. Because artillery on the enemy side, they're going to be at A9, A0, maybe B0. If he's up against a hill, they won't have a shot at him. At object 140 in the centre of the map, I'm not sure if anyone is shooting him. I'd say Ryan would have, because I know Ryan fired a shot pretty early in this game. Whether he hit him or not, obviously I can't tell from here. So without much happening, I move up to support Husbox to try and spot them from that little mound, little hill where he's sitting. I go the wide way just to be sure that no one pops out from nowhere to try and blow my head off. But I'm going to come up and try and take a similar position that I did last game and do a little bit of damage using my gun depression of the Object 140. You can see artillery just took another shot at Husbox, so I'm guessing he's been spotted, or it might have just been a blind shot. I get my 140 a little bit sideways going down the hill. That's alright, it looks good. And I can use this bush for a little bit of camo, I guess. I don't carry a camo net on this tank, but I think some of my crew have camo trained. And again, we've only spotted 2 of their tanks, but you would think I could see something, even though I'm not carrying binoculars and I've got the optics. You'd think I'd be able to see something if they were all hanging around the same area as they did last time. The IS-7s and the IS-4 come up to help me, and you can see in the east our E100s and the T11 OE5 are moving up. E100s are going up against the cliff so they can side scrape against the cliff, and the T11 OE5 are going down. He's going down the ditch near the water. And they've just spotted a couple of IS-7s, 3, and I think they might spot another one soon. I can see now that the Object 140 that was in this, or that is in the centre of the map, has copped a bit of damage, probably from Ryan in his Conqueror. Our IS-7s are having a look, and they've spotted the Batchat. Now I know as soon as I move, that Batchat's going to spot me, because he's on my mini-map. You can see a small blue circle around my tank. That's the proximity spotting thingamy-bob. That's if a tank's within that circle, they can spot you, whether you're behind a building or a bush, it doesn't matter. I'll take this opportunity to put a couple of shots into the Leopard. And Object 140s love shooting Leopards, love shooting F-Feeds for 202s as well. So I've got 3 shots away. We're winning 2-0 all of a sudden, which I think was from the other side. They killed some of those IS-7s. Got more shots into the back of that FE-4202, the Tier 10 British tank, which worries me a bit because I've just unlocked that tank and thought he didn't last very long. Hopefully I last a bit longer when I get mine. All of a sudden we're winning 3-0 and we are spotting tanks like you wouldn't believe, and one of them is the T62A, which is supposed to have a really strong turret. One shot and another shot into his turret. So much for the super strong turret of the T62A. Now it's 5-1, 6-1. Again, the call gets made. Don't lose your tanks. Don't let the tanks get locked. But since my health is pretty high, I continue to shoot gold, even though that is a T54, I believe, a Tier 9. They've bought a Tier 9 tank. But the gun, there's nothing wrong with the gun on the T54. It's a Tier 10 gun, so it's going to be able to damage a Tier 10 tank like me. But the IS-7s are moving. They're still on quite high health, so they don't need to worry about losing their tanks. I'm down to 1,230 hit points off my original 1,900 hit points. Now we're winning 10-2. It's time to go. So I gun it, go around our IS-7. You can see I've done 2,500 damage, which isn't too bad, but I really want to add to that amount of damage. Bounce a shot, probably from the pattern. And I finally get a kill of that T9 T52A. Now looking at the map, you can see we've got this covered. 14-2. All that's left is their artillery. And I've done over 3,000 damage, which I'm very happy about. Now hopefully these 2 games have showed that camping is not a good idea on this map. Battle results 1400 XP in my premium account. You can see I did over 3,000 damage and 1,700 spotting damage again, which of course I'm happy with. gave me third score in the XP ratings, and again, everyone did plenty of damage. Plenty of people doing over 3,000 damage and 2,000 damage. And again, even though I fired all that gold, you can see I still made a bottom line profit of over 8,000 credits. If it was a normal game, again, I wouldn't have used so much gold. I probably would have made even more money. So the argument that tier 10s don't make money, in my opinion, if you have a good game, it does. So anyway, that's my Clan Wars roundup for today. 2 battles. I hope you've enjoyed them. Feel free to leave a comment down the bottom of the screen. Thanks for watching. Take care, and bye for now. Have a good weekend.